Hi y'all, if you like this like pin-up 60s demon look, stay tuned. What is up, people? Alright, disclaimer, I am sick right now, and I was sick while filming this. So if I'm not looking too hot, that's why. So, or sounding too hot either, because I know usually you guys come for the audio. But, but today we're doing like a 60s pin-up inspired demon. That I wanted to do last year for Halloween, but I ended up going to a bar crawl and I decided against that because it seemed like a dangerous situation to have alcohol, red face paint, and someone else's car involved. So, starting off with primer, just slab that all over, and then going in with the most bright red face paint I own. This was deliberate because it's going to act as foundation, so I need kind of like uh, a neutral red, not dark, not light. So I am just bringing that all over my cheeks. I have a whole separate set of brushes for face paint. These are the May whatever, sticks, and they do stain brushes really bad. It washes out, but they stain. I've never had a problem with like staining my skin though, just my brushes. So I have a whole separate set of brushes for face paint reasons. And yeah, so I went ahead and put like a little collar on my neck just to guard my shirt from any fallout or, excessive staining. I do take it on my eyebrows or my eyelids and then I rub it into my eyebrows just so that everything is nice and covered and saturated. Yeah, disclaimer, if you don't like sound of stuffy noses, this video you might want to mute. So I do take a little bit of a mixture between pink and white, like hot pink and a white, and I put that underneath my eyes. This is not being worth anything later because I had to go back and fix something. And then I do have a runny nose while I was filming, so I was hesitantly going around my nostrils. Taking that pink and white mixture on my nose, my chin, and my window doesn't have a shade, a proper shade. So I end up having to get up and create like a makeshift curtain with a black dress. This is in my new house, so we're still working out the kinks of, setup and filming, etc. So going in with a almost burgundy color, it was more of a burnt red. It had more of a blue undertone versus a yellow undertone, or orange if you will. And I used that as my contour, and I just kind of like made sure to blend everything. And I was a little shy when it came to my neck, I noticed. Now originally I was going for a 50s pinup look, but I decided I do not have the facial structure or features to really match that and for it to look logical, we'll say. So I kind of upped it a decade and went to the 60s because I know I would have rocked it back then. The makeup looks, are you kidding me? So that's where we kind of went. So again, taking that dark red, I mixed it with a little bit of brown. And then I placed it with a small brush and blend it out with a big brush that already has product on it. I find it easier to work with wet product with a brush that already has product on it. And I'm just putting that, in places I want a little bit more definition, a little bit more depth. And another disclaimer, by no means is this really a tutorial, because I was kind of just like messing around and finding out. I was trying to find a PG way to say that. So, follow this if you like, but it's kind of all over the place. I forewarn you. And then I did end up buying a dark red blush a while ago, and I kind of forgot about it. And I was like, oh, I can use this to set my makeup. And then I was like, oh my gosh, this is so pigmented and it totally changes the vibe and it did not pick up highlights or contour or anything. It kind of made me flat again. So I would say if you use, face paints, I would just stay away from powders. I don't know. They make it so flat. You can see me look at the camera and go, I don't know, man. I like to use baby powder. It keeps the shading, it keeps everything, but I was like, why not? Maybe this was not a blush. Maybe this was a red setting powder. I'm gonna look at my Amazon real quick while this runs. I end up going in with baby powder just to try and bring some of those highlights back, a little bit more dimension. I'm really hoping this video isn't glitching like it's doing while recording. Alright, and then going in with a pen eyeliner, I am starting to define my eyebrows, making them very thin and arched in the tails. Yeah, that must be a red setting powder for face paint. Because I typed in blush and nothing's coming up. I would have used it as a contour in hindsight, I think. Contour powder versus a setting. Because it's easier to go darker versus bring light back into a canvas, if you will. Alright, and then I am taking a little smudge brush and just kind of blending that product to the front. That way it's a little bit more feathered. And I decided these were a little too straight, so I went in under the... Okay, how do I say this? Underneath the part of my brow that comes closest to my nose. You see me coughing and dying. And I kind of filled in and overlined under the brow to give an even further arched illusion without having to, go too pointy. And then I did draw some hairs in just because the face paint, face powder, whatever, and the eyeliner pen were mixing and creating like a weird little texture, so I didn't like it. So that baby powder did a little bit of justice. And I also do notice with baby powder, it doesn't really rub off as much. I feel like this definitely transferred easier than I'm used to, so I don't know. And then just using a black eyeshadow and a flat brush, I am creating a shape to work off of. So creating a wing. After creating that wing, I also connected it to my crease, creating that more well-known mod silhouette for eyeshadow. And really winged it. And then diffuse just a little bit using a burgundy color and a little bit of black, as well as bringing it down on my nose to contour my nose with. Really working it in underneath my eyebrow just to bring some dimension back. Now, I've stated in previous videos too, I have very flat eyelids. I'd say, like, there's just not a lot to work with there. I wouldn't say it's a monolid yet, but it's like halfway between a monolid and a hooded lid and blah, blah, blah. So, for me, adding a little bit of depth underneath my eyebrow seems to help. If that does not work for you, do not do that. And now I did put some underneath my bottom lip just to create a little bit more of a pouty look. Then taking some eyeliner and creating a very dramatic wing that connects all the way in. And I did take it and lined it underneath the bottom lash line as well. If you look at inspiration pics from like 60s/70s makeup, they were very geometric, I would say. It went from, one end of the pendulum, or one swing of the pendulum, being very soft and very bland almost, and one color on the lid, if you like back in the 40s and 50s, to let's go hog wild. Let's, have dimension. Let's have lines here just for the hoo-hey of it. And I think it took a nice swing. Personally, I enjoyed this. Don't get me wrong, I'm an old Hollywood girl, and if you're beautiful, you're beautiful. You look good in anything. But this, for me, on my face shape, my features, it's a little bit more flattering. And then going back in with that black, just to deepen the crease up again. That way everything's harmonious, nothing's too dark, too light. Diffusing just a little bit. And then going a little bit underneath my lashes just to soften it a touch. Taking it down my nose again. Buffing it out. And then taking some black and just lightly buffing it out on my cheek. I don't know if you guys get this, but one side of my face always turns out way better than the other. And in this case, it was, the way we're looking at it right now, is the right side. I don't know why, it just always turns out better. And basically just contouring as I normally would, but with black. And then I was sweating. And I did notice with face paint, it's actually pretty easy to manipulate. I'm rather pleased with this formula. Comment below if you guys want to know what the exact brand is. Otherwise, I used to put products in my descriptions, but it took too much time. It was too, annoying. I don't know. I'm a very lazy person. So, just ask. You shall receive. And then I tried to find a silver, and I noticed that I have, no silvers in my palette. So I kind of had to create one using a purple, a champagne, and, a steel gray shimmer that I had. So, because I did want a cut crease that was rather pronounced. So this is me kind of creating that, because I'm a little chemist. Yeah, and I don't know. I feel like baby powder, things don't turn out as patchy. And this pigment, it just was, I don't think it was working very well together. I don't know. Maybe in another video I'll try this again, but maybe it's just the red. I don't know. So I tried lining my lips with a black liquid liner that I own. Probably should have used a liner, a gel eyeliner, because this turned out so shiny on camera and it was kind of faded. I don't know. In real life it looked fine, but on camera it didn't pick up the depth as well, so. And I overlined the snot out of my upper lip, because until I get lip liner, this is what we have to, or lip filler, this is what we have to do. I do have an appointment scheduled. I'm rather excited, because I'm going to get a little bit, just a smidge in my upper lip, just to balance it out with my bottom lip. And then pressing them together but not rubbing creates a natural ombre. And I put a red that was far too orange on there. I ended up not even using red. That was the silly part. So you know what? Alright, fast forwarding to highlight. I had a pink based highlight powder, so I just used that, kind of popped it wherever I thought light would naturally hit, if this was real skin instead of makeup. So pretty much wherever you put highlight naturally or normally, but I definitely I always say this, bring it to the sides of the nostrils even if you're doing normal makeup, just because it always makes it look a little bit more natural and a little bit more cohesive. And because I had sparkles on my eyeliner, or shimmer on my eyeliner, I went back and redid that. And we're going to skip this part because I was going to do a Batwing underliner, but it didn't work out. So, okay, so this is me. I wiped it all away. Went back in with my wet brush that has a little bit of just pure red on it. Went back in and dabbed that on. Then went in with the brush that had the powder on. Dabbed that on. Boom. Seamless fix. And then just did like what I did originally again. Just the one simple line. Or that double line, I suppose. So there's the top eyeliner and then the winged bottom liner too. Kind of points in a... Would that be like a 30-degree angle, I suppose, on me? Just doing some final touches, adding some stuff. And then off camera, I did my eyelashes. Which I hate these eyelashes so much. They were uncomfortable, they're heavy. I threw them away. And see, you just fix the wig a little bit and you add a little bit of volume. Boom. I kind of look like my mom, just a little bit. It's kind of weird. My mom has like, growing up, she had black hair. And I have naturally blonde hair, I guess would be the word. Yeah, I looked like her a little bit. It was kind of freaking me out. I don't know. And you can see my nostrils. I was wiping my nose with tissues so much it wiped away the face paint. So there we go. See? This is just with powder just to make it a little bit more seamless without putting a whole lot of product near the wig. And ta-da! That's our final look. So I added a couple little accessories, my wings, my horns. And yeah, I did my hand a little bit with just excess powder. Nothing crazy. And that is the little gal. Look at her. Oh, she's so cute. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. Alright, if you guys like this, follow me on TikTok and Instagram at Kate_escapism and like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.